Days of Our Lives is 2 weeks with a breathtaking twist that will leave viewers stunned. In the heart of the DiMera mansion, under the cover of night, E.J. DiMera holds a syringe filled with Dr. Wilhelm Rolf's infamous memory-erasing serum. His target, his own son, Johnny DiMera. Determined to protect his sinister secrets at all costs, E.J. is willing to erase Johnny's memories, unaware that this desperate act will ignite a chain of events destined to rip the DiMera family apart. Johnny DiMera, beloved by many in Salem for his spirited personality and his strong sense of loyalty, is about to face his most profound challenge yet. When Johnny learns of his father E.J. DiMera's horrific actions against his mother, Sammy Brady, the young man's life will spin out of control, driving him to confront his family's dark legacy head-on. The revelation begins when Arnold Feniger, known for causing chaos and destruction in Salem, returns under mysterious circumstances. Arnold, once responsible for impersonating Rafe Hernandez, Salem's respected sheriff, wreaked havoc on Rafe's life and terrorized Johnny's mother, Sammy. Arnold's dark deeds, including an assault on Sammy, cast long shadows across Salem's families and relationships. Now, once again, Salem finds itself shaken by the arrival of someone who eerily resembles Sheriff Hernandez. The sinister figure behind Arnold's reappearance quickly becomes evident. E.J. DiMera, whose ruthless pursuit of power and control has often led him down dark paths, emerges as a likely suspect. E.J. staunchly denies involvement, claiming innocence even as suspicion mounts against him. Yet, Johnny remains skeptical, harboring deep resentment towards his father for his previous betrayals and questionable morality. Johnny makes it abundantly clear that if his father is involved with Arnold Feniger's sinister return, there will be consequences. However, Johnny's suspicions about E.J.'s villainy barely scratch the surface of the real horror that awaits him. The shocking truth bursts forth when Roman Brady, a pillar of Salem society and Johnny's trusted grandfather figure, can no longer hold back his painful secret. During a tense family gathering, Roman explosively reveals the truth. E.J. DiMera raped Sammy Brady, Johnny's mother, on the very night Johnny was conceived. This revelation sends shockwaves through the community, ripping open old wounds and forever changing Johnny's perception of his identity. Johnny is initially stunned into disbelief, desperately hoping it's not true. However, Kate Roberts, Roman's steadfast wife, solemnly confirms her husband's disturbing bombshell. Her quiet, anguished words confirm Johnny's worst nightmare. The realization that his very existence came from an act of betrayal and violence devastates Johnny, igniting an intense fury that threatens to consume him entirely. Overwhelmed by grief, confusion, and rage, Johnny vows to make his father pay for his crimes. Yet, unknown to Johnny, E.J. DiMera, always calculating and ruthless, may have sinister plans of his own. Rumors soon spread throughout Salem of a disturbing sighting, a hand holding a syringe filled with a mysterious serum reminiscent of the memory-altering drug E.J. previously used to destroy Rafe Hernandez's life. Could E.J. intend to erase his son's painful discovery, or perhaps silence Johnny permanently? As Johnny prepares to confront his father directly, Salem brims with tension. Family loyalties are tested, alliances fracture, and the DiMera family faces one of its darkest chapters yet. Johnny's journey to uncover the full extent of E.J.'s depravity will force him to decide whether blood truly binds or if justice must prevail over family ties. Amidst this chaos, Salem faces more complications as Sean Brady struggles with his guilt over a secret night spent with Detective Jada Hunter. While Salem was preoccupied with Arnold Feniger's chaos, Sean sought comfort in Jada's arms, creating tension that could destroy existing relationships. Sean confides in J.J. Devereaux, desperate for guidance on handling his explosive secret, knowing that the truth could unravel both his and Jada's future happiness. Furthermore, Teresa Donovan receives shocking news of an unexpected pregnancy. Doubtful and overwhelmed, Teresa struggles with disbelief and confusion, demanding clarity about the child's paternity. Viewers are left to wonder if Teresa will ask for a DNA test to reveal the truth, potentially appending yet another family in Salem. As Johnny DiMera wrestles with the grim truths about his father and the painful circumstances surrounding his own birth, Salem prepares for an emotional whirlwind that will leave no family untouched. Audiences must brace themselves as old sins resurface, altering relationships and destinies forever. The town of Salem is no stranger to drama, but on Tuesday's episode, tensions escalate to a dangerous level as buried secrets begin to surface, threatening relationships, alliances, and lives. As loyalties are tested and past mistakes come back to haunt the present, the citizens of Salem are about to find themselves at the center of a storm they never saw coming. A battle of power. Rafe confronts EJ. Confrontation is in the air as Rafe marches into the DeMera mansion, his patience already worn thin. He's not here for a friendly chat, he wants answers, and he wants them now. The moment he sets foot inside the lavish estate, his gaze locks onto EJ, who, as always, stands tall and unshaken. But there's something more behind EJ's usual air of superiority, something wary, something defensive. Rafe doesn't mince words. He demands to know whether Arnold has returned. The question alone seems to rattle EJ, but he doesn't let it show for long. With a smirk, he feigns ignorance, brushing off Rafe's accusations as nothing more than baseless allegations. But Rafe is not so easily dismissed. His fists clench at his sides as his anger boils over. I should have put that bastard out of his misery a long time ago. Rafe growls, his voice filled with venom. EJ doesn't take kindly to the threat. With a sharp, cutting glare, he orders Rafe and Jada to leave his house immediately, making it clear that Arnold was never there. But Rafe doesn't believe a single word of it. This isn't over, he vows, his voice dark with determination. Jada, sensing the situation is moments away from becoming explosive, tugs at Rafe's arm, urging him to leave. The last thing they need is for Rafe's fury to get the better of him in enemy territory. She manages to get him out the door, but it's clear that the battle is far from over. Torn between truth and guilt, Jada's confession back at their apartment. Jada does her best to calm Rafe down. She reminds him that everything he's lost, his memories, his past, may not be gone forever. He just needs time. The reassurance does little to soften his frustration, but at least, for now, it keeps him from spiraling further. Then, sensing the weight of lingering doubts in his mind, she reaches for his hand, her eyes filled with sincerity. I need you to know something, she says. I never slept with Arnold. Not once. We barely even spent time alone together. Relief washes over Rafe's face. Good, he murmurs, his voice tinged with possessiveness. Because the thought of another man's hands on you makes me hurt inside. But something in Jada's eyes flickers. Hesitation. Guilt. There's something she hasn't said yet. Something eating away at her conscience. And she knows if she doesn't tell him now, it'll only come back to haunt them later. Taking a deep breath, she forces herself to confess. There's more, she says quietly. We never slept together, but we kissed. A few times. A long silence stretches between them. Jada braces herself for anger, for disappointment, for anything but what comes next. Rafe exhales slowly, then offers her a small, understanding nod. It's okay, he says. I'm just glad it's all out in the open. He leans in, presses a soft kiss to her lips, then heads upstairs, leaving Jada alone with her thoughts. But instead of feeling relieved, she feels uneasy. Because deep down, she knows that secrets have a way of unraveling everything. A confession that could change everything. Meanwhile, at the police station, another confrontation is brewing, one that has the potential to shake Salem to its core. JJ sits across from Sean in the interrogation room, tension thick between them. They're here to discuss the Feniger case, to gather enough evidence to put EJ away for good. But it's clear that JJ has picked up on something else, something personal. As they go over the details of the case, JJ can't help but notice the fire in Sean's eyes whenever Jada's name comes up. It's not just concern, it's something more. Something deeper. Something personal. You sound almost as passionate as Gabby when it comes to defending her, JJ remarks, his tone laced with curiosity. Sean stiffens. He hadn't expected his emotions to be so transparent. He had been trying to keep his feelings hidden, but JJ sees right through him. I'm just looking out for her, Sean says quickly, almost too quickly. After everything EJ did to her, how could I not? JJ studies him for a moment, then lets out a small chuckle. All right, he says. But I get the feeling there's more to the story. A long pause follows. Sean looks away, wrestling with himself, with the truth he's been trying so hard to bury. Finally, with a sigh, he drops the facade. I slept with her, he confesses. JJ's eyes widen in surprise. He hadn't expected Sean to admit it, not so easily, not so openly. It was a mistake, Sean continues. We never even had a chance to talk about it properly. Everything happened so fast, and then we found out about Arnold. And JJ doesn't say anything for a moment. Then, after taking in his friend's turmoil, he nods. Your secret's safe with me, he promises. But the damage is already done. Sean may have spoken the words aloud for the first time, but the truth had been eating away at him for a while. And now that it's out, there's no taking it back. As Sean leaves the station, his mind is racing. The guilt, the regret, the consequences. It's all coming at him like a freight train. And he knows that no matter how hard he tries to ignore it, the past has a way of catching up to him. The calm before the storm as the night settles over Salem. One thing is certain. This is only the beginning. Lies have been told, truths have been revealed, and the foundations of relationships have begun to crack. And while some may believe they have a handle on the situation, they have no idea what's coming next. Because in a town like Salem, the truth always comes out, and when it does, it has the power to destroy everything in its wake.